Did you know that Michigan was home to a city Time magazine once ranked a top 10 city in the entire country? And no, it's not the big dog Detroit. It's a suburb of Detroit, and that's called Rochester Hills. It came in at number 9 in the top 50 list of best small cities, population from 50,000 to 300,000, and came in at number 9. I'll be breaking down everything I know about this city, and if you stay to the end, I'll give you my personal opinion from my personal experience in this city. Welcome to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Ed Butler and I make content just like this one every single month, giving you everything there is to know about Metro Detroit and Detroit. I'm also a full-time realtor, so if you're looking to make any moves in real estate, feel free to reach out. I love to have your back on your home buying, selling, or investing journey. And with that, let's hop into the video. So let's start with a little bit of a history lesson on what we call today Rochester Hills. So originally it was incorporated way back in 1835 as Avon Township. Then from there, Rochester thought they were a little bit better than everybody else, so they decided to split off in 1869 and create their own little village, Rochester, or township, we should say. Fast forward to 1967, they really said we want to be separate, and they incorporated themselves as a city. They voted on it, became a city, and named themselves Rochester, Michigan, after Rochester, New York. And that left everything else surrounding the area as still as Avon Township, and then you had Rochester, Michigan right in the center of it. Then you fast forward many years later, after many different votes and things like that, in 1984, the city of Rochester Hills voted to turn themselves into a city and name themselves Rochester Hills. So this is how you ended up with two cities with very similar names that kind of encompass the same area but are actually separate cities. But in this video, we're going to be focusing exclusively on Rochester Hills, which is the much larger, more populous city of the two. All right, some of my favorite things that I like about Rochester Hills, and that's going to start with literally the parks and outdoor amenities that are out there in Rochester. I say Rochester is one of the best places for you to live if you enjoy the great outdoors and want to be in Metro Detroit. Starting with one of our favorite parks, and that's the Rochester Municipal Park, which is right downtown Rochester, just off of Main Street. You can pretty much walk from downtown Main Street onto Rochester Municipal Park. It's a huge open space. They have a lot of different pockets, like in the back, there's a playground for kids. There's actually a couple different playgrounds for kids, but there's the back one. It's a playground. It has a little stream and creek going around it, some volleyball courts, and then of course a lot of different like barbecuing spots and things that you can rent out to host family picnics or family reunions. Whatever you may float your boat, you can do it at the municipal park. Then the other one that just got opened up in the last couple years, and it's only its first phase, and that's going to be the Rochester Innovation Park, or Innovation Hills as it's called. That one opened up just west of downtown, and it's actually one of the largest playgrounds in all of Michigan. It's a 110-acre open space park that has all types of different amenities. I mean, it seems like they add new things to this thing all the time, and it's definitely been one of the hotter spots in all of Rochester since it's opened. And this is definitely one to check out if you're going anywhere near Rochester and you want to have a kind of a serene day. There's parts of it that are a little bit quieter, and then there's other parts that are just like madhouse with kids everywhere. There's a little bit of something for everybody. Then talking about Rochester, it's a little bit more tamed down than in the downtown of say a Royal Oak, but a little bit more upbeat versus a downtown of like, let's say Plymouth. They have a ton of cool restaurants and bars down there, some to speak like Cruise and Mauer on Main, the Meeting House, and Paul's on Main, which a lot of these are locally owned restaurants by people that live in the city of Rochester. And there's definitely a lot of small shops and independent business owners in between all these different places that you love to, patronize. Also, one extremely cool thing that happens in downtown Rochester every year is that they do a holiday lighting show. Pretty much the entire downtown, all the businesses pull together and they have their lights professionally done on each one of the buildings. So if you drive down Main Street in Rochester near the winter months, you'll be able to see beautiful lights everywhere, and it's definitely really fun to take the kids driving the car and to see all the pretty lights out the window window. Or if you're on a date night, to just be walking down Main Street and just be in this beautiful ambiance, getting you in the Christmas spirit for sure. Continue on, I love the location of Rochester because it has so many cool cities that it borders. It's a little bit further north for those of you who are looking for a downtown Detroit feel. You're gonna be located about 35-40 minutes from downtown Detroit, but it's a great place if you're looking for an Oakland County suburb for sure. You're gonna be bordering Rochester, of course, then you're gonna also border Auburn Hills, Troy, and then Shelby Township. So you're pretty much gonna be surrounded by a bunch of other great cities. And so if you wanna go out and venture off into one of the other cities, you don't have to go far to reach another amazing city. Then from there, the school system is definitely a major draw for Rochester as well. The Rochester Community School District is actually ranked number 11 in the state, according to niche.com. So I definitely have clients that have said, hey, I wanna be in Rochester or the Rochester Community School District, so let's only book our search to ones that will give us Rochester schools. And as you may know from previous videos, schools definitely drive housing prices because growing families, people are always looking for places with good schools to raise their children. They're going to send them to public schools, and so housing values usually stabilize around good school systems. All right, now moving along to the nitty gritty of which you probably already are wondering. All right, what does it take to live in here or buy a house here? So some of the things I love about Rochester and their various neighborhoods is because they have something for everyone. You can have that suburban-like feel with the cul-de-sac and the neighbors facing each other, or you can go to the ultra luxury, high-end modern homes that look like they're out of a magazine. Or if neither one of those are your taste, you can straight up buy a place that looks like it's out of the country or you're in a farm somewhere and still be inside of Rochester Hills. And in the last 12 months, there have been 776 sales in Rochester Hills, with the average sale price coming in at right about $400,000. And I'll break out for you the lowest sale and then the highest sale, so you can see how big of a gap it is between all the type of homes you can find in Rochester Hills. So on the low end, the lowest sale last year was a $92,000 condo. That was a 2-bed, 1-bath, about 1,000 square feet. Not too shabby, got a pretty good deal on it. And then on the high end, it was a 5-bedroom, 4,500 square feet, new build home with a 2-lane bowling alley and a movie theater in the basement that went for $2.5 million in the Enclave neighborhood. All right, now, so you can see there's a little bit of a difference for sure. And I want to also highlight 2 neighborhoods that are, some of my personal favorites inside the city of Rochester Hills. Now, the first one, I'm a little biased because of its name. So the first one is going to be Butler Ridge neighborhood. And this one's really, really nice. If you're looking for that modern, high-end, luxury, new build feel in a neighborhood, then this one definitely may be for you. There were 5 sales in Butler Ridge over the last 12 months, and the average sale price came in right about $1.6 million. So you can see there's some big boys here for sure. If you're looking to go in that high-end luxury range, we have a place for you. Now, one of my other personal favorites with a little bit more economical price point, and that's going to be Fairview Farms. Fairview Farms is a great choice if you're looking for that suburban charm with a little bit of a farmhouse feel, and specifically if you're looking for like a old school colonial or traditional colonial home. They have a ton of them. Those big pillars out front, big yards, all that. Fairview Farms definitely has a ton of them. And also you have a little bit more to choose from because it's a pretty large community, and there were 49 homes sold in Fairview Farms over the last 12 months with an average price point of right about $535,000. This is one I've been taking many couples shopping in, and those with growing families, we definitely always stop here if they say they're interested in Rochester, because I feel like it has a good mix of everything that you're kind of looking for in a neighborhood, and pretty centralized as well. So you get a lot, to choose from. All in all, Rochester Hills is definitely one of my favorite cities in all of Metro Detroit. It's actually one that's on my list for moving my family, my personal family, to the next time that we buy a home. Just because we love all the amenities that are there, and we love being a part of the community in Rochester. Schools are great, and so it's definitely a top pick that we're considering for my personal family for sure. And if you want to know more about Rochester Hills or any of the surrounding communities of Metro Detroit, feel free to reach out. All my information is down below. I'd love to have your back in your home buying, selling, or investing journey. And with that, I'll catch you on the next one.